doing?
We're doing mapping. So we're doing making. What was the task it was make?
Do you want to read it out? But it's not relevant to this one.
No, because that's the first task, was figuring out the trick question.
Yeah, allow maps to be predefined rather than as now be randomly generated each time.
Right, so maps are already predefined. They're predefined in a JSON file. So it looks like that. So our job was already done. So we thought we'd change that from we'd subvert our task into making starting to make the world such that the player can interact with it and collide with it. And so these are actually defined as forest and grass. So we thought the player wouldn't be able to walk into the forest. So we set about making forest tiles. The player collide with forest tiles so that you wouldn't be able to progress through it. So the first thing we did was we set a couple of attributes on those. Those tiles are defined in JSON as well. So we set an attribute can enter false on the forest, and that is passed by the JSON as a Python boolean, and we adapted the world class, the map class, which is in somewhere strange, like sprite. So the map class loads the mapping crate tiles. We changed terrain so that it had a method that returned the value of that attribute, and we also wrote an action and added it to the player, so that on every frame the player would check for every tile in the world whether it could enter that tile, and if it couldn't, we had to stop. So
what?
Sorry. I have to move down first because as soon as we hit a tile, it stops and it's crazy.
So the ones that are stuck in the forest stay in the forest?
Yes.
Well, the forest is made out of plants that have a deadly nerve toxin.
He's paralysed now.
Yeah, that's what we spend most of our time, was actually concocting the nerve toxin.
So actually, this is what we're actually doing here is the map was stored just as a graphic, so it was just taken straight out of the JSON and turned into a graphic, and then it's drawn on every frame. And we're changing that so that there is a model of the world that can be queried for objects that you can interact with, and interact with. Not just by it's not just by rectangle collision. That's actually how we're doing this. So this is a graphical collision, but this is extensible so that you would be able to, for example, query the world for the tiles that are adjacent to you and only bother checking against those instead of checking the whole world at every frame.
I'm not convinced you've actually done anything there. There's something you've around. You can't.
I've not stopped pressing the button. Oh, and so then we did experiment briefly with adding a new scene to say game over when we touched the poisonous forest, and it crashed. So
Very exciting.
The game really was
That is a game over soon, isn't it? Stack traces game over.
yeah.
So
We just had a great game over.
one thing I didn't understand is one of the last changes you made was you added offset.
Yes.
Stuff. Can you explain that to me, because I'd like to know what's going on.
We found that strangely in here this line was missing, so it's actually creating a tile and putting it to the background but not keeping it. So this class was just basically disposable class. So we actually had to set this object as an object that had a location within the world, rather than just something that was created purely for graphics.
Where's your? Can I just see the point at which you're checking all the tiles to see whether they're poisonous or not, or whether they're items?
We would, but then we'd have to kill it.
Yeah.
Was it poisonous forest or?
I can't read that very well,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
that's
Essentially, what you're doing there is reproducing the group collide functionality.
we are, yes.
I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but we're querying the map rather than just making
The group.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I wrote a comment in Get Collidable Sprites that we wouldn't want to do this. We wouldn't want to get the whole list and try everything in it. We just want to get the closest things if we can efficiently do that, so that we're not doing.
You'd want a group of collidable objects.
Yeah, exactly. Or whatever objects. Which you can do to some extent with JSON, because the player is a has its own group and so forth. But I'm not sure how extensive it is, whether you can put something in two groups at once with a JSON, but you can do it somewhere.
Shouldn't need to. Surely you would be. It would be the forest you were setting as collidable.
Yeah, sure. Not the player. I was only mentioning the player because it happens to have an existing attribute group. But no, I agree. You said the forest to have a group to be in a group of collidable. I think.
Well, you could create one template which was collidable and inherit from it. I'm guessing. I don't know if you
Yeah, I
can
wouldn't have
inherit
thought.
from multiple.
Yeah, the thing. No, I don't
sources.
think you can. It's this kind of pseudo inheritance thing is as far as I can see, it's a single only. I mean, not that one couldn't extend it with lists of inheritors, but it doesn't at the moment. I mean, at that point, you really are writing. Yeah.
Saying that, you could create a parent group of everything that's going to be collidable called collidable, which
Yeah.
would then be a parent of everything else.
That's
Just to extend it one layer further.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
Any other questions?
Great. Thank you very much.